Zaza.
Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Wippa.
Hello, podcasters. It's Fitzy and Wippa here. Happy Monday.
Hello.
Hey, what's that on your chest?
What do you mean?
Oh, got ya. Got your beauty. That was a bit of a prank that backfired. Sorry, mate.
That's all right. You got me.
Finger went right up your nose there.
Yeah, that was funny.
It's bleeding at the moment. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a really good feel. Hey, have a look at these. That prank's gone too far.
What's that?
BJ's undies I stole from your place
That is
on Sunday.
That is not
Funny though, isn't it?
I want to be involved with.
Should have got the washed ones.
That's. We got some great calls on this. Prank's just going too far. I mean, you think it's funny at the time, and then all of a sudden you end up in
jail,
in a prison in Bangkok, and you're there for 28 years. But you know what? We had a bloody good trip, didn't we?
It was a good time. Sorry about that producer that had to leave the show. He's got another 20 to go. But he'll come out one day. I can't even remember his name.
I've still been keeping in contact with his family. Those calls coming up soon.
Fitzy and Wippa.
Everybody loves a prankster, guys. But you know what? There's a fine line of when that prank goes too far. And sometimes, that there's a fine line between pleasure and pain. You might be having a bit of a laugh a minute, and then they realise the joke that it's on has not landed well. We've all been there. We know that feeling of thinking it's a good idea, and then all of a sudden, whoopsie daisy. I want to tell you about a mate of mine, and he works in the entertainment game, and he's a big celebrator of birthdays when he works with a crew, whether it's a TV show or whether it's a movie. And one in particular was when he was working on a kids production, but one of the cast had a birthday, and he loves to create a big celebration around a birthday. And from where he's from, when there's a kids party and you have a piñata, you fill it full of lollies, as we all know. If it's an adults party, you fill it full of adult content and things. So he decided to organise this for the adult who was having the birthday. Piñata got underway, smashed it open, all these different things fell out on the floor.
So fun.
And the manager or the EP on the show said, "It's time you can go. This is a kids' production." So we don't need that wiggling around on the floor.
Oh.
Anyway, he's married. He's happy. He does a lot of jokes on his wife. He goes for a lot of pranks.
Classic.
Quite often comically timed for when she gets home. So he'll be jumping out from around the door with a funny mask on or something.
So funny.
Just can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
She had warned him that the pranks were wearing thin.
Yeah.
It's fine if you want to prank. You've got your mates. Go and do your pranks with your mates. But for me, why don't we work on something called a normal relationship where you don't have to prank me because I'm your loved one?
Good work, Lace.
He couldn't stop. He set up the prank where he wanted her to think that when she walked in the door, he'd been murdered.
Oh, God.
So he got some lamb's brains.
Oh.
And
he's gone all
he
out.
got sauce and put a cut across his neck and had the lamb brains.
We did that as kids on a video.
Did you?
VHS. Yeah. We used to do videos, and we got the sauce and the brains.
Funny.
Who did you show
Funny
it
gear.
to, though?
Oh, well, it's mum and dad, but we were like 13.
Yeah. He's 37 and married. So she walks in the door. He's in dead man position with his arms and legs kind of awkwardly placed, and he's got the lamb's brain and sauce all over his neck and a knife lying by his hand. She walks
terrible.
in, screams. My husband's been murdered. Runs outside.
Imagine if she celebrated.
Yeah,
runs
that's right.
outside to call the police.
No.
He runs after her. Just a joke.
Oh, not
Just
funny.
a joke. Gotcha. Having a laugh, having a laugh,
There was
having a
a
laugh.
trumpet here there, was there?
And that was the last prank he'll ever play on his wife, because she played another prank called the Divorce Papers. Yeah, it's not so much of a good payoff, that one. You kind of split everything down the middle and you go your own way, and the relationship was over.
Really, was that worth it? Did he think that was worth it?
Oh, look, if you look back now, Sayers, I don't know where he is at his life in his romantic stakes, but I think he would still say not a bad joke, not a bad prank.
I've been there a couple of times. First one was with Dad. He was a Sparky. I set up a phone call and I had a real loud crack go off in the background, and I was talking to Dad going, "Dad, there's this light flickering in the house. It's just up on the wall here. There's a wire hanging down." And he's like, "Well, don't touch it, don't touch it." Then we let it off the crack, and then I hit the deck.
That's terrible.
That is so unkind,
That's
particularly
so
because
bad.
he's not there to see you in person.
I know.
And there's his only son
Brian?
over the
Well,
phone.
Dad said, I've had a couple of mates that have passed, so
Yeah.
that was a silly joke, and I said, I won't do that again. to you, I'll do it to somebody else.
Yeah. What about that? Was
What, the kidnapping?
kidnapping.
Yeah,
That's a good.
Now we were young,
in
dumb.
theory.
And that was, we had a great group of friends. We'd go to house parties every weekend, hang out at the Macca's car park, and it was the best. And there was 2 girls there, and we decided one weekend that one of the boys, we were going to this house party out in the middle of nowhere, and it was pitch black, Sarah. There weren't even street lights. We'd set up 2 cars, one out in front, and the car out in front, we'd set up some mates beforehand. This car comes out of nowhere, stops in front of it, and I had 2 mates in balaclavas get out, and they had air rifles.
Oh, Jesus.
They go to the car,
Funny.
they get one of our mates out, get him out of the car and throw him in their car, and
he's
then
screaming.
they speed off. We're in the car with the girls in the back seat. They're hysterical, crying, and then we drive up a bit further, and the car's pulled over, and there he is just lying on the side of the road.
Fitzy, how old were you when you did this?
Oh, I was very young. I would have been 28, 29.
Yeah, okay. At least you got it out of your system under 30.
I thought this was the one where you stole that girl in the cockroach costume.
That was different.
Oh, well, that was Terry the Termite.
Well, that was legitimate kidnapping.
Well, you thought she was someone else, didn't you? And you grabbed her and then had to put her
Do you want me to ring in, Tom? I've got a few more.
You've got
Kate's
a lot of
in,
stories.
we're going to go to Kate in Bondi, Tommy.
Yeah, let's go to Kate.
Okay, prank went too far. What happened?
One friend did a poo in another friend's backpack.
We've had a bit of
Can
this,
I just
bit
say
of this
there's
floating around this morning.
There's a lot of work in that. Like, I
No,
mean,
there's not, Fitzy.
no, but there's that's. You know what the moment I always think of when you're actually doing it, right? What is going through? Are you laughing at the time, or what's going through your mind?
Should be concentrating.
And was it in a container, Kate, or was it just a drop off?
No, just straight in.
That's really weird
Kate,
behaviour.
what was the reaction?
Not good.
Yeah,
very
fair
angry,
enough.
very upset. Yeah, I don't think they're friends anymore.
No, went
Why
off in a
did she
stink.
do it? Just for a laugh, or was it payback or something?
Just a dare that no one thought he'd follow through on.
Right.
And in passing, and then
He certainly followed through on it.
That is really
So
all right.
disgusting.
Oh, God, what's that?
You know what? Nothing beats a cosy winter getaway.
Or escaping to a tropical paradise.
Whatif.com helps you make up for getaways that you've missed.
Plan and book everything travel, all in one place. Jump online or on the What If app. What If? It's Aussie for travel. Oh, when the prank has gone too far, guys. This mate of mine, unfortunately, he is single now. He tried to do the slit throat joke when his wife walked through the door one day. That was the last prank he'll ever play on her. They're now divorced. Teresa, welcome to the show. What prank went wrong?
Hi, good morning. I work for a bed, bath and table store, and we had this fellow one day. He thought it'd be funny to hang a broom that we sweep the floor with upside down in one of the side caddies.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all too busy serving, so no one noticed it. Then he's finished his shift, he went home, and then the state manager walked in and he noticed it.
Oh, no.
So what had he done?
He got the broom and he wanted to see how attentive we were, so he hung it upside down in one of the side walls where we display all the bed linen.
Right, okay. So
And because we didn't notice, we were all busy, he'd sort of gone home, he thought he was smart, and then the state manager walked in and said, "What the hell's broom hanging upside down?"
Who,
you've got a broom on
who put
display.
that up there? Did he keep his job, Teresa?
Yeah, he was just a casual, but we had to answer for it. We
Yeah,
were
what a
managers.
pest.
yeah, funny broom gear, mate. You can always rely on a broom.
Hannah in Pennington, what happened when the prank went wrong?
Oh, it was hey guys. It was the beginning of lockdown. I was living at home with my parents, and I just had the sleeves. And my dad left his computer unattended, and I thought it would be hilarious to send an email to his team. And he has a great relationship with his team, so I thought, all good.
Yep.
Send an email, log off early, guys. Big week, lockdown. It's really hard. Have a day on me, sort of thing. Anyway, really funny in my head. And when I pressed send, I just my heart just fell out. I just thought,
Yeah.
oh no,
Oh, what have I done?
Oh, dear.
yeah.
What was the
can't-
fallout, Han?
can't send that. Really awkward for the rest of the lockdown. It just didn't go down well. He got stuck into someone for not emailing him back, and I just, it wasn't funny. And then I was stuck with him. So yeah.
Right, and you owned up to it?
Of course.
Oh,
I don't know who else it would have been.
Everyone's gone home. Everyone's stopped for the day, and there was important stuff going
Yeah,
on.
good gear, Han. Really good gear.
Brett and Penrith, prank's gone wrong. What have you got for us, Brett?
I'll
was 17 years old. I was an apprentice sheet metal worker. I got told I was going out on site, so I ran up to my bench to grab my toolbox, and somebody had welded it to the bench. And as I grabbed it, I dislocated my right shoulder.
That's not good.
How was the pain, Brett?
Like I've never had before. It was excruciating.
Did it go back in, Brett, or took a while?
No, I had to go to the medical centre for him to relocate it.
I mean, funny in theory, yeah, Brett, until the shoulder came out.
I had no idea. I grabbed the handle on the top of it and turned and went to sort of run to the work ute, and the toolbox stayed, and I moved, and my arm stayed with the toolbox.
Good gear.
Gluing the coins to the street out the front of a pub's always a good one.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
a bit of fun. Yeah, or the little bench out the front.
All right. Even the fishing line, even putting a $20 note on a hook and just with a fishing line and then pulling it back when someone goes to pick it up. It's
Very
basic,
funny.
yet so effective.
All right, we want to know if your prank went too far. What was the result? Speak to us. Steph, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Steph. Did it go too far? What went wrong?
Accidentally went too far. One day, my mum kind of did something to annoy me, so I pretended to run away. I was about 5 years old.
Yeah.
So I went and hid in my dad's car, but I accidentally fell asleep.
Awesome.
And I woke up about 5 hours later. House was empty.
Yeah.
Everyone, or the entire street was looking for me. And
Yes.
Had the police been called, Steph?
They had not. So I walked down to the end of the driveway and I sat there, and then eventually I saw them come around the corner. They're all crying and screaming and running at me.
Do you know what? I did that once at that age and said to Mum, I'm out of here, grabbed my backpack, and all I grabbed from the fridge was the milk and chocolate topping.
That's not bad.
Awesome.
That's all I need is chocolate milkshakes. I'm out of here.
You're ready to go.
Didn't last 5 hours, Steph.
Thanks, Steph.
I was gone. Tim in Newington, when did the prank go too far?
The prank went really wrong. My stepfather and I and my wife and my wife and mum were at the beach, and he was going to go for a pee, and there was one of those portaloos in there. So he went inside, and I thought I'll try and block the door.
Yeah, funny.
The shoulder when he finished, and then he started swearing in there, and he started shoulder charging the door, and the thing started tipping over.
Oh no!
And he got urine and toilet paper all over his legs. I'm like, oh no!
Yeah, tipping a portaloo is a pretty low moment,
But if
isn't
you
it?
were at the beach and you saw someone screaming from one of those thunderboxes,
Funny.
No.
it'd be very funny.
It is funny. Well, Darren in Lebbington, what happened, Dags?
Good morning, boys. How are you today?
We're really good, Darren.
Very good, sir.
All right. This happened in the 80s, back when real pranks were played.
Yep.
I was an apprentice, and the boss's son, we're doing a furnace, all right? So it's one of those small ones. You have to lay in it. So your body's in, you're laying these bricks, and you're finishing off a furnace.
Yeah.
It gets to the end. He's the senior, so he's come out. Can you go in there, Darren, quickly finish it off? There's about 15, 20 bricks to lay. I said, yeah, not a problem. Sponge it up. We'll go home. Okay, not a problem. The light's still on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the light goes out. Anyway, he closes the on me. Next 24, I'm in there for the next 12 hours.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Overnight.
You were locked in.
I was so lucky that I didn't get claustrophobic or I could have, it was unbelievable. It was a massive experience for me. It was.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it.
They bricked it up or locked you in there for the whole night, Darren?
The son, the boss's son, he just turned the light out. I was nearly finished, I would have climbed out because I was sponging up, and he just turned the power off, threw the power cord in, and closed the door that quickly because you had to slide out. It was it's not. It was a tight furnace. It was like really claustrophobic. It was like
Darren,
so tight.
What did you do when you got out?
Oh mate, I was rapeable. I went to the boss, and I just said, you won't believe. He said, where you been? I said, well, we're at work for the last 12 hours. You going to pay me?
Yeah, where's my overtime?
Oh, my God, Darren.
Wow.
Funny at the time, though, wasn't it? So funny.
It's funny when they turned on the furnace as well, which was a bit
That
weird.
was, sorry about that, Darren.
Well done.
Early in the morning and it's Monday. Time for fun with some wordplay. Monday. Monday.
Monday, guys. That's right. We give you a story. You've got to give us the puns. Very, very simple. This is an interesting story out of India this morning. Parents are suing their son for not giving them a grandchild, saying that, hey, you owed it to us to make a baby. They're claiming mental harassment and suing for $650,000. I don't know where you get that number from.
Is that the worth? That's the worth of a child, is it? Is that how much a child is worth?
Well, he's got a girlfriend, he's married, and he spent all his savings and time becoming a pilot, which was his dream to be. And they've said, we don't give a stuff about you flying around up there, we just wanted a baby.
It would be tough, wouldn't it, if you're not continuing the family?
Yeah, if you don't breed on.
I mean, you've got to respect their decision. I understand, Sarah,
but it's come so far.
We just want a grandchild.
Really?
Well, you want a child yourself.
All right, 13, 24, 10. We want your puns tied into this story. Do you guys mind if I...
Yeah, go on,
Kick
mate.
it off. Leno, drum roll. Dude, where's my kid?
Oh, yeah.
Hang on a minute.
I'll follow that one.
Yes, sir.
All right, Hillary Swank in $1 Million No Baby.
Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Really strong, says.
Thanks.
Do you remember the Jean-Claude Van Damme classic, No Conceive, No Surrender?
Oh, wow.
What film is that?
Stretch.
It was No Retreat, No Surrender.
Okay. That'll do. And I got a bad look. All right, Tommy, what do you got, big guy?
One of my favourite classics, Three Men and No Baby.
Oh, that's really good, Tom.
I don't know how he does that. Tom, that was outstanding. Hang on a minute.
It down. He thinks about it and writes
What a
it down.
genius.
Jess wrote one, and she told me beforehand. She said, I think I have a winner, which I came up with last night.
Oh, here she comes.
She told it to her wife, Tones. Tones said, nah, it's no good. She mentioned to me, I said, Jess, that's the best pun I've ever heard.
She's under pressure
lot
now.
of
All right,
pressure.
here's
Okay.
a lot of drum roll for Jess.
It's the 1960 American adventure film Swiss Family, Rob Your Son. Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
Clever.
Yes.
Clever. It's clever.
Yes, I love it, Jess.
Don't all cheer at once.
Was the Swiss Family Robinson a movie or
Oh,
a book?
yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
It's an amazing movie. Remember they built the trap and the tiger falls in?
I thought it was a book.
Oh, it would have been a book as well.
Giselle in Blacktown. What's your pun, Giselle?
Childless in Seattle.
Oh, wow.
That's
really good.
Really good.
Giselle, you've done the family proud this morning.
Strong start, Giselle. Well done, Joanne in Glenorrey. Here's your drum roll.
In the shadows of Tom, I'm getting no baby.
I'm getting no baby.
In sort of in
I mean,
honour
stunning.
of Tom.
I mean, in honour, yeah.
What
The
a
lead up-
stunning performance,
The lead up
Joanne.
was a stumble.
No, it was great.
I think I threw to her too quick then. She wasn't ready.
I like Joanne.
Rebecca in Epping. What's your pun, Beck?
Father of the baby.
Father of the baby instead of the bride.
Instead of father of the bride.
Well, there is no father of the baby, is there?
Because there's no baby.
Because there's no baby. We
Ooh, I can
think
smell
about
that one a bit, Beck.
Damo in Riverston. Here's your pun.
So I've got the Adam Sandler classic, Billy Mad No Son.
Oh,
Billy
Yeah.
Mad No Son.
Mad No
Instead
Son.
of Madison. Billy Madison.
Yeah. All right, Damo, that is awesome. Thank you for being part of the show.
Rebecca in Stanhope Gardens. Drum roll.
The grandparent trap.
The grandparent trap.
It's not bad.
Grandparent trap.
Do you mean like
Yeah.
parent trap?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
bit clever.
But it's the grandparent trap.
Oh, yeah, a bit on the nose as well. Thanks,
Oh.
Beck.
Give me a break. Lenny in Wollongong. You're our final. Let's go, Lenny.
I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. The grandfather.
Instead of the Godfather.
Okay. All right, Lenny, you've had a swing as well.
Whoa.
Who'd have thought it? I reckon
9 out of-
Joanne in Glenorrey for a commitment to Tom's tribute.
Yeah.
Totally.
Joanne.
Oh, thank you.
Joanne,
It was cute.
it was a rough start, Joanne, but you brought it home.
Well done, Joanne. Double chin gin coming your way. Hypothetical that I want to send out with you guys straight away. Now, if you were, and we all know how expensive weddings are, right, and how much money you have to fork out.
Oh, yeah. Kills me.
Here's a big one for you. If your in-laws said to you, we'll pay for your honeymoon, wherever you want to go around the world, catch is, we want to come along.
I mean, mine are listening to the show. I say absolutely. I'd be fine with that. You guys,
No, you wouldn't.
to Deborah and David, if you're listening, would be an honour to have you there.
Well, we just did this hypothetical off air, and you said absolutely no chance
that's
at all.
That's not true. Ignore what he's saying if you're
Sarah,
listening.
would you do it? If they paid for it,
Yeah.
would you let them come?
Totally, but they spend a lot of time with us because they come up and stay with us for chunks. So I'm used to living with
I
them.
don't think you can. I don't think the parents would want to. I think they would feel that we're out of line doing this. But also, this is a really special, iconic time in your life. where it's just meant to be the two of you, right, that are exploring together and having the time of your life, and you want to be able to look back on it and go, what about that?
I think
just
that
you and I.
No, that was in olden days when people didn't live together beforehand. A honeymoon now, like I've been married twice and still not had a honeymoon. So, like, it only has the importance you want to put on it. It's just a holiday.
Do you know, I went overseas with a girl, and Mum and Dad were in the same part of the world, and they drove down to see us, and it was nice to spend a couple of days just with them. I didn't see a lot of them. I had conjunctivitis at the time. I didn't know the girl I was with all that well either, so it was a little bit hard. But we spent a few days together, and it was to the point where it was, okay, Mum and Dad, you can head off now. Oh, it's so exciting to be in this part of the world, all of us together.
Oh, it's nice.
Well, how's this couple? Because they put this up on the internet, and the in-laws said, look, we'll pay for it, that's fine. But if you don't mind, we wouldn't mind coming along. We'll be in separate rooms, obviously, all this kind of stuff. But they've booked in group events to do stuff during the day. So are you prepared to go out with your in-laws and do some stuff during the day and then come back and get a little bit of time to yourself? They even said that there was there was moments where they'd be at the pool all day and then they'd go back to their room thinking this is our time, and then all of a sudden there'd be a knock on the door and it was room service, and the in-laws would walk in and go, we thought we could all eat together. The couple had to fake stomach cramps just to get rid of the in-laws so they could get a bit of intimacy.
What are you going to do, right? Here's the option if they're paying. So they've got the money and that's really nice. And they say, hey, let's go to the south of France for a week, all of us, right? We're going to fly business class. Or the other option is, because of the lack of funding, we're just going to fly economy to Fiji together. What are you going to do?
South of France in business class?
Fiji.
Are you kidding?
Fiji. For sure.
They're not in the room when you're hooking up.
It doesn't matter, says.
So they're not going to hurt you. If you want to lie on a beach, they're not hurting that
when
ability.
When it's your holiday, you want to be able to do whatever you want. You don't want to be able to, I'm just going to set the alarm because we have to, Dad said we're meant to be at breakfast at 9:30. Get stuff.
Can you still elope? Can you elope from a honeymoon? I mean, can you get there and then just do a runner away from the parents?
You could just not answer your phone.
Well, that's right. Maybe you negotiate it, Fitz, and say, all right, we'll fly over and spend the first 2 nights with you. Yeah. After that,
we're going hell for leather.
I don't want to see you.
We're making babies.
I'm on.
I want to know, it doesn't have to be family members, because I do remember a story of Paul Kelly and Tony Lockett were best mates at the Sydney Swans, and Paul Kelly's honeymoon went up to Darwin with his lovely wife, and they went out on the Whitsundays a few times, did a few plane rides and stuff like that. Tony Lockett rocked up with his wife on their honeymoon, and the boys went out on a couple of nights on their honeymoon and got on the... Well, they actually got into a bit of a knuckle at one of the pubs, apparently, the two boys, while the girls were back at the hotel room. That was on a honeymoon.
My God.
Have you has someone rocked up on your honeymoon before? Did your partner invite them, or did you see them? There was always that great beer ad. Remember that down at the pool? And
what are you doing here?
Oh, no way! How are you here? I didn't know you were here. Let's hang out.
A mate of mine booked a honeymoon in Mexico, and he knew it, she didn't know it, and then they turned up and he spent the entire time lying on the beach looking at other women because it was spring break.
Well, that's disgraceful.
Gosh.
Well played, Dazzler.
Rebecca in Hitchinbrook, who rocked up on your parents' honeymoon?
Oh, well, they planned a beautiful honeymoon camping, and my dad decided to invite his best friend along.
How did that go down?
Oh, you know what? My mum still doesn't let him live it down. Yeah, so it was pretty much a whole shit show, to be honest. So they went, it was a good old threesome with them. Not actually.
How can you, so did they go off fishing and do other events, Rebecca?
Yeah, Mum was left at the campsite most of the time, and it was Dad and his best mate.
So your mum and Dad are still together?
Oh, yeah, they're still going strong.
Do you know what? I don't think it's a good start to a marriage, right? If you feel like you're going away with the love of your life, but you need your best friend there to have a good time.
And all of a sudden you're the one left out.
Couple on the internet needs some help because they said, would you let your in-laws pay for your honeymoon anywhere that you want to go, anywhere around the world? The only catch is that they want to come along. And they want to be there with you guys. Would you do it? Anyone who rocks up to a honeymoon, I mean, that's a special moment.
I know. I can't believe the parents would suggest it.
I know.
Like to shout them the honeymoon and go away.
Heather,
you've got the cash.
Heather in Mount Cola, who did your ex-husband invite on your honeymoon?
3 of his best mates and their wives.
Wow.
And we were on a houseboat. So it was very small, very cramped.
So,
10 days.
Heather, did you know that you were going on a houseboat, and did you think it was just the two of you, or?
No. I knew he'd invited them, and I didn't agree with it, but I didn't have a say.
On a houseboat? Pretty tight quarters.
Far out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you get along with the girls, Heather? Were they good mates of yours, or it was more his mates?
Well, they were mates, through him. And we used to go, skiing a lot together as a group. But, honeymoon.
Yeah. And then, Heather, did you break up because he hooked up with one of the other girls on the trip? Or
whoa.
Why didn't it last?
No.
Whoa.
No, through other circumstances.
Oh,
but,
okay.
we've been separated or divorced 17 years.
He sounds like a stinker.
She got out big time. But Kelly and Menai, who rocked up on your honeymoon, Kel?
Oh, we had my parents, my cousins and their 2 kids.
What?
And then 2 of our best mates.
How, Kelly? How?
Oh, we just wanted to continue to party.
Oh, right. So you were okay with it?
Totally okay. It was all planned, and it was one of our best holidays, and we would love to do another holiday
Kel,
with everyone.
it is meant to be an adventure for the two of you, where you can wander around and, I don't know, go to a nudist village if you want, but just find that freedom somehow.
Well, it is that
We
moment
really don't need to see that.
where you can lay in bed all day without any responsibility.
Yes.
It's probably one of the last times you get to do it.
So true.
Matt's given us a call. Who rocked up to your honeymoon, Matt?
Oh, well, we're sitting by the pool in Bali after the parents paid for our honeymoon. It was really nice. And sitting there, and some tray of drinks rocked up and said, "This is from the group over on the corner there." So we looked across, and the parents were there, and that was not good. But then looked further across, and my sister and her boyfriend had rocked up as well.
Oh. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me, Matty.
So they were just...
And you had no idea?
No. It was like, how good is this? They paid for a honeymoon. We'll go away, enjoy ourselves, and next minute, it was a family gathering.
Yeah, surprise attack is something different, isn't it?
No thanks.
That's World War III right there.
Oh, and you're in Cooter as well. You're just drinking that concentrated Red Bull. You're off your head.
Thanks, Matty.
Caroline and St Ives. Who rocked up on your honeymoon, Caroline?
Oh, it was a bit of a surprise, actually. My husband organised a trip to Hawaii and doing the islands, and he invited another couple from America to join us.
Okay.
That couple then invited another 4 couples.
Oh, you're kidding me.
America.
The old domino, hey?
Oh, my...
Yes.
So you had to spend the entire time with everyone?
We had a few little breaks, but yes, they organised to show us around for everything, day and night.
Oh, was there a moment where you said to him, Caroline, I wouldn't mind just a bit of time with you and I?
Well, yes, because we never lived together prior.
Yes.
So it was meant to be our special time. But you know what? In the end, it worked out fun. But, just a bit
You're
of a
still with him?
surprise. Absolutely.
Wow.
27 years later.
Great news, Caroline. Thank you.
Natalie in Camden, who'd you find on your honeymoon, Nat?
Oh, good morning. Yeah, we were honeymooning in Fiji on one of the outer islands. So every day there'd be a new boat that would bring in the new people for the island and take away the old people that had finished their holiday.
Yeah.
And I'm a teacher, and I think we were about 3 days into our week-long honeymoon, and about 6 of my Year 12 students jumped off the ferry for their schoolies.
No way. And there you were, paddleboarding topless, and the kids turn up.
Oh, no. And did they rub it in as well? Like, were they taking the POSS out of you?
Oh, yeah, look, there's new sausages, all the little whisperings. And I was like, oh, my God. I said to my husband, we got to go and find another pool. We've got to find somewhere else.
Did you have a drink with them in the end?
No, God, no.
You know that first time you travel, and this is what I love, when you're young and you're independent and you go travel for the first time with your friends.
Yeah, man.
It can be quite daunting. Things can go wrong, especially if you're going overseas or you don't know your way around.
No.
You're doing everything on the fly.
You're hungry for adventure too. You're willing to do some stupid things. Everyone makes mistakes overseas.
If you got into trouble the first time you travelled overseas or anywhere because you didn't know what was going on and you got into a bit of trouble, I'd love to hear from you, 13 24 10. because I had a good mate of mine, Lincoln, come over for the weekend. You guys have met Link. I brought him into the studio before. This is the second time he's ever been to Sydney before. I met Link about 18 years ago at Camp Quality. Poor kid, he's had about 40 operations, been in and out of the women's and children's, and I used to go and see him. We've stayed friends ever since. He's 27 years of age now, and we get him over every now and then, but he's quite anxious when he travels because he's by himself and he doesn't know where to go and he doesn't know what to do, and then there's a fair bit of anxiety around it as well. So over the weekend, we're having a few beers and I'm showing, and he's loving it. He wanted to see King's Cross. I want to go see where the Ibrahims were and stuff like that. I've seen Underbelly, so can you take me there? So we went out to the Cross until 5 in the morning.
Went to Dream Girls.
We didn't. No, we didn't. So I just took him to a few places. But over the weekend, there was a couple of things that went wrong. So first of all was the bottle-o. Well, I didn't have any beers at home, so I said, I'll just pop into the bottle shop. I said, do you want to stay in the car? He said, no, I'll come in. So we went into the bottle shop, and I can tell he gets anxious. He goes, Fitzy, where are you going? I said, I just got to go into the cold room to get a case. So I go into the cold room, and I'm in there for a while deciding what I'm going to get. And then I come out, and the poor bugger is freaking out because a woman in there was asking him where the Riesling section was.
Thought he
worked here. And he didn't know. He goes, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Then she was getting upset, going, can you just
show me?
Point. And he goes, I don't work here. So I had to go over and sort that out.
Awesome. And
then he was a little bit nervous. I take him back to the car. The other one was over the weekend, we went to the petty station and I'm filling up and he said, Fitzy, I need to go to the toilet. And I said, well, just go into the petty station and see if there's one in there. There wasn't a toilet in there. I said, there's a pub. You know the Frisco Hotel? We had a Christmas party there.
That's right.
It wasn't that good. and it was at Woolloomooloo. And I said, just go over there into the pub and I'll meet you back here at the car. And he's like, oh, can you come? And I said, well, I'm filling up the car. You start walking over and I'll come and get you after. And I could see him and he was nervous. So he's walking over to the pub. And then as I'm walking over to the pub, I paid for the petty, I can hear the pub's chockers. There's quite a few people in there. And I'm going, this is what have freaked him out.
Yep.
I go into the men's toilets, he's not there.
Oh, no.
And then I'm looking around the pub, he's not there. And I'm going, oh no, I've lost him.
Yeah.
In Sydney, he must be freaking out. And then this woman walks out of the women's toilets with Lincoln, going, does anyone know this guy?
Did they hook up? Wow, he moves quickly, doesn't he?
Was she being nice to him? I hope
she was being really nice. So that was good. But he's unfortunately, I think when he travels by himself, he just doesn't enjoy it because he's always anxious and he doesn't know. The environment is not...
Unfamiliar.
Is unfamiliar.
Did they exchange... They didn't exchange numbers or anything?
They've been going out since the weekend. It's been really good.
I mean, that's moving
He's
quick.
found love.
Staying on Fitzy's couch.
First buy me a drink, but, it's not a bad start for him.
It's when you go overseas, this is the thing. It's hard. You don't know, when you jump onto a train or you don't know the custom, you don't know whether to pay a tip.
When I was in Italy nannying and backpacking and stuff, cars, when I first arrived, I don't speak Italian, cars kept pulling up. I was just going for a walk by myself on the road and men would yell stuff at me. And I got home and I said to the mother of these kids, these people were yelling, and she said, oh, because blondes over here are prostitutes. So they would have been pulling up soliciting. And I would just sort of walking along with my bag, looking at the side.
And they knew you were.
Okay,
Sorry,
mate.
They were confusing
I was by
with...
myself.
That says.
They made a fortune. Marnie's given us a call from Maroubra. What happened on your first trip, Marnie?
Yeah, so very first trip overseas, ended up in Beijing, and a bit silly, didn't book any transfers or anything like that, thought we'd work it out when we got there, and the only sign we could find in English was a lady holding a sign saying transfers, and I was like, oh, thank goodness, there's somebody. She spoke English, great. She's like, oh, I'll organise a car for you, fantastic. So then there's two guys, like 6'5" plus. They were the biggest guys I've ever seen in my life. Turned up, black muscle T-shirts. Either side of us go, we'll take the luggage, ladies. And I was like, what great service. Bundled us into an elevator, and then they showed us the rate card, and they wanted to charge us equivalent, and this was probably 15 years ago, equivalent of $180 each to transfer from the Beijing airport to our hotel.
Wow. And you couldn't say no, Marnie.
Well, we tried. So when I sort of said no and I started making excuses and pretended to have things booked already and got on my mobile, they basically split us up and then took our luggage and hid it in a service room, split us into different areas and different floors of the airport. We were literally running away, feeling like some kind of scene from Taken. It was horrible. We hid in the bathrooms.
Never let
and
go
then
of your
eventually-
luggage.
No, and that's what I've learned. I was like, be really cautious, never let go of your luggage, never let go of your friends, and pre-book your dresses.
See, this is the thing. Thailand's the same as well. You jump on the back of a scooter who you think is a taxi, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't know where your hotel is." Next thing you know, you're at a jewellery store.
Yeah. But it's like,
come and buy something.
Yeah, you
like in
can't
Bali, well, they'll take your luggage off the conveyor belt and put it in the back of their car. So you've got no other option than to get in the car.
Get in the car. All right, what happened when you travelled for the first time? 13, 24, 10. Brad at Alexandria, what happened on your first trip?
Yeah, mate, I was in Santorini with a friend, and we hired quad bikes, as you do there, for about 4 days. And on the first night, we wanted a bit of a budget, so we just went ice cream tasting to shop, parked our quad bikes on the side of the road, come back about an hour later, and they've been impounded by the police. We've found a note on there for about €300 each. Obviously, a bit of a budget here, so we're like, far out, what do we do? Anyways, there for another 3 days, so we just hang about, lay low. The last morning, we're probably due to leave there at about 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the guy from the quad bike shop rocks up at our door at 6 a.m. in his Greek. Where are you? Where's our bikes? You got to pay this? Yeah. Me and my mate like, nah. Legged it out the back door, out the window, dropped our suitcases from the balcony, just ferry out of there.
Well,
and you got away.
Got away, mate. Out of there. See you later. Never gone back to Greece.
No.
Well done, Brad.
Okay, now this could be your Fitzy loses it or your Fitzy's volcano.
Oh, my God.
I just need to get this off my chest, all right? Because we know the last 2 years everybody's been doing it really, really tough, okay? We've had the pandemic.
Good start.
And obviously, with the weather at the start of this year as well. But the number one thing with our kids, it's our homeschooling and the kids not being able to go to school. The other thing as well is sport, right? We want to get our kids out to sport, and it's been great to start this year. But over the weekend, and there was a few councils that did this, but this morning I'm concentrating on the Canada Bay Council, right? And so if anyone knows a representative from there, you can go and get stuffed.
Whoa.
Because...
All right.
So our boys... Well, Huey was supposed to play at Drummoyne Oval on Sunday, yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, anyone who's been to Drummoyne Oval, it's one of the best in the state. Sarah, it has New South Wales cricket play on there.
Yeah.
They have AFL games on there. NRL plays on there. I think even the Wallabies have played on there or trained on there. It's top-notch. It's professional, great drainage system. It's a brilliant oval. Now, we know on the weekend, the sun was out all day Saturday. It was a beautiful day.
Yep.
Yesterday, the sun was out as well. But they called it on Friday night. On Friday afternoon, they said all games are off for the weekend. It was disgusting.
For that oval.
For that oval. So the kids were like, they were shattered. We didn't even get a game. And then all of a sudden, Balgowlah, who we were playing, and thank you very much to the Balgowlah Footy Club, said, well, why don't you come over to our ground and you can play the last game on Sunday night, which was 4 o'clock. The sun was going down. They turned the lights on. They were really accommodating. I'm just disgusted that some of these councils make these decisions, and then there's excuses of, oh, sorry, we don't have enough people to go check the grounds, or well, it's for the kids' safety and that as well. Go and get stuffed. As if the kids are going to hurt themselves. They love playing in the mud. Just let them play.
I would suggest there's another code breathing over their shoulders saying, we've got training on the Monday and we want the oval in top neck.
Yeah, don't tear it up.
So don't rip it.
I'm telling you now, let them rip up the oval, because I promise you, precious little men, that the oval will recover. It's going to be okay. The sun will come out again and the grass will recover.
Funny how that happens, yeah.
Let them play footy. Don't cancel a game.
It sounds like...
oh, my gosh.
I mean, if you're talking about the level of quality of that oval, then it should be able to withstand that. If you're saying all the codes play there and they play high level, it's obviously a well-maintained and treated oval. So therefore, it should be able to take it.
The drainage system is amazing, and it's really well. And with the sun out all day Sunday, they made the decision Friday that Sunday footy is off.
That's a disgrace.
Right? And I if I went there yesterday, it would have been in top-notch condition.
Who's the council?
Canada Bay Council.
That's it. We're turning into 2GB this morning. Tom, get someone from Canada Bay Council on and explain why Sunday's game was cancelled on Friday. Because the big guy needs answers.
This is it, Tom. I've got some beer festival tickets to give away to them as well if they want them. But this is the thing. We have got
How
sun.
frustrating.
We've got sun all week, right? We've got maybe a tiny little bit of rain on Friday and a little bit on Saturday and Sunday. What's the bet? We've got another home game this week. If they call it off, I don't know, Tom. I'm going down with a Molotov cocktail.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
And no, just a drink.
Okay. And then we do a demolition derby in our cars on the oval and really rip it up.
Just let... You know what? Our kids have been doing it tough the last few years.
Yeah,
Your oval's going to be all right. Yeah, I've had my piece,
There
guys.
you go, Fitz.
Shame.
The volcano.
The Fitzy and Wippa Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.